Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're going to be taking a look at the legend stage from Street Woman Fighter Season 2, Mannequeen versus Wolflow 5v5 Underdog Battle. This is a full cam, so we ain't going to have some weird cuts. I get to see it for what it is, and I am so excited. For real. You guys have been talking this whole episode up to me all day today, and I've been so ready to watch these. So thank you guys for the wild ride that we've had so far, and let's just get into it. Let's watch.
Let's go fight!
Ooh, saw a picture of this. Hey. Nice speed change. Woo! Okay. Ah! Yeah! It is interesting that you can hear like the actual gloves here. So it feels like we are watching it.
2, 1.
Nice.
Which
Alright.
turn?
Here we go, Mannequeen. Hey. I see why they did Barbie, because it matches the pink here. Hey. I love the crown popping out here. Whoa. Wow.
2, 1. Back up.
Jeez, okay. Oh, these are killing me. I love this so much. Let's take a look back here.
Let's go.
Okay, so starting with Wolflow. Love the outfit. Love the use of the prop. Love their vibe and performance and presence. Absolutely love this. Only note I'm going to say, though, is that we're starting to see similar fingerprints of groove, rock, and bounce. It's my only note here, because remember, we've seen them a lot in the eliminations. We've seen a lot of the 1v1s. I know we have a couple more that do involve Wolflow in this session of recordings and reactions, so I know I'm going to be seeing them again, which is, you know, that means they must be doing something freaking cool for us to get so much coverage of them at this point in time in the battles, which is exactly what I personally wanted, because we knew that they were heavy in the battle scene. I really love the boom, doom, like they do a fabulous job with this legato groove where it's super lanky and super, not Aquarius, but like, very, just has a liquid nature to it, but it's still full and strong, you know, which is really nice. Yeah. Love the speed change here. It's great framing as well. Slide through. I love this where you just have you have some of them who are just they frame her really well, and they build up each member super well here. Love the use of the rope. Then you have the 3, and then they just stand around, which I really love. So they just love the usage of the prop the whole time. They don't just throw it away. They figure out different ways to use it. That whole sequence in there was really cool. And then they even thought through the transition of how to transition through with the rope. You know, and they're hitting the music. I would say when we've seen them in choreography, they hit the music predictably. Right now, is their pocket undisputable? Absolutely. Like, they have such authentic pocket and authentic groove in what they do. That's any of my feedback or notes, because remember, it's just my opinion and educated guesses here. Just whenever I see them and I give like a note or a suggestion of what I think they could have done better, it will never be because of their pocket or their groove. It has everything to do with the complexity of movement that they bring to the table. So they do another speed change here. Which do I feel like they could have made a different choice? I feel like the 2 speed changes were probably not as necessary as they could have been, especially if there was more space from them, honestly. I think that could have really worked against them here. Even though both of them look really cool, they are in a different formation, but they did do a speed change going back both times, regardless of their formation. They are very clean. I really wish that I could have seen a frontal view of that, so I could have really seen the angles and the choices they made with the levels. And I really love this diagonal level where you can see everybody even though they're in a column. Super cool. I will say though that with that tutting sequence, they're hitting on 1 and 2 and 3 ands versus, you know, and they kind of finish on that solid count. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. So they're making, and this just shows, I've said this the entire season, so this shouldn't come as a shock to anyone when I say that a lot of their movement or choreography that they do is more simplistic than their freestyle choices that they make. And that's just because some of you have already mentioned it, Baby Sleek made the choice to stay in the underground, where Leah Kim chose to go the choreography route and build 1 million. Thank you for the comment of that, because you're absolutely right. You know, so I really feel that when you go in the underground, there's a lot of authenticity and there's a lot of different cultivation that takes place whenever you're there versus building a business and making different connections and working where choreography takes the forefront and you're overly saturated in the choreography world for so long. You know, you get different struggles. You know, Leah Kim is not really, and we'll get into this, you know, Leah Kim is not as fluent in freestyle like she used to be as much anymore, like Baby Sleek is now. But Baby Sleek's choreography is not on the same par of integration to who she's working with and the complexity of her sounds that she's listening for. I feel like the crew in general, I feel like every crew has a strength and a weakness. And I think for Wolflow, it is the choreography of any aspect that they do in general for not battles, but like whenever you do a challenge, like their choreography is definitely on the weaker end when it comes to density or captivation. You know, I think like they factor in other things, like their formations are fabulous, don't get me wrong, I love those, but I think that is probably going to be another thing that works against them in the competition, is that, but also we know they're not as popular as some of the other crews, so they're going to run into the fan vote issue too. So I'm already calling that. Like how they're hitting a lot of these grooves, we have seen this particular pocket of groove before, but also remember too, we don't know at what point this was filmed and exposed to our judges. So I don't know like how much of this predictability is happening, right? So, but they did great, but you gotta factor in the fact that Mannequeen, very good at battling. Like they have some really great members who battle efficiently and well, and there's no dispute about that. But they also have really good choreographers too. So I would say Mannequeen is one of the few crews out of everybody who has strong battlers and strong choreographers. So they level it out well, and I kind of feel like that's pretty cool. Like they start this pretty well. Do I feel like they have just a couple of like little cleanliness range motions that could have been better? But also look at the angle. Like the angle's really tricky to see a lot of what's happening here. Love the angles, the build-ons here. That's fun, having her fold over and really use them so she can really arch her back. That's whenever you notice, because I don't know which one is actually bent over, but notice that she has her hand here, making sure, I believe that's Yoonji maybe, is there supporting her, even though she's supporting her upper back. She's not supporting her head, they're supporting her upper back so she can actually get lower if she needed to. But she's doing it in a safe way, and I love that. Yeah. And then you have your 2 major battlers here. Very strong. And then you have your 4. Now, do I feel like they all match the same level of energy? I feel like my dancer here is not going nearly as strong or as low as my dancer here. Here's the thing. It's so blurry, too. Like, it is hard to pick up, like, who exactly we're looking at here. Love that. Just, like, the groove to transition is really nice. Let me see. I think there was a little bit, you know, whenever she hit out and they wanted to recollect. They're doing that right there. over. So she hit, there's a chance that she kind of hit a little tad bit too early where it caused everybody else to look, but it looked like it was delayed, and I don't know if that was intentional or not. Educated guess here. I love that we get to see some crump from her. So nice. I think this circle could be just a tad bit more even. We have these two that are really close together and then a huge gap over here. So that's just a really small logistical thing. But then they cleaned it up, so it looks really nice now. And then you have Yoonji. It's a very strong presence from her. You know, just a lot of like little, you know, love that. What she did in the center though, like, I mean, I mean, it was a decent choice, I think. You know, it may have really done wordplay on that section. I couldn't really hear the song super well. This was really cool. So seeing them all kind of break down, pose down, and then having I think that's Sarah, right? And then they all match her. That was cool. And she's very stable here, and that really helps. Yeah. I love that. Like they really went for it there. Yeah, so they really like they bite or they bark, you know. Mannequeen really held it down. I'd say Wolflow had a really strong run. If I were to pick out of the two, Wolflow had really nice costume prop, and they were pretty clean. But they were too simple, I think, for where we're seeing in the competition with the crew battles. I feel like they could have really brought more diversity, and we've seen them in other aspects, and I feel like this is starting to match similarly to what we've already seen from them, which can be a disadvantage in some cases. Mannequeen, I feel like some of the things that they were trying to do were a bit too overly complex. Simpler could have been better. I feel like some of the choices that they made, like the spacing was just a tad bit off, or maybe they didn't all just hit as crisp and clean as Wolflow did. But I do think that they created a really nice package, some form of bluffery, you know, like, you know, and a nice intense moments, and they really showcased a lot of the members really well. So I would give my vote out of the two. I would probably give it to Mannequeen, but also note too, I've seen so much more content from both of them than the judges may have had at this point in time. Remember, we don't know what episode of filming this happened in, even though it's happening in, I think this is what, episode 5. Even though it's happening in episode 5, it didn't happen in episode 5. You know what I mean? There's K-pop challenge hadn't even happened yet, I don't think, at this point in time. So I just think it's like there's a huge, at this point I'm starting to get not confused, but I have to really track these outfits, or like where we've seen that outfit before, where we've, you know, seen this mashup happen before, that kind of stuff. So, but I've been freaking loving this show so far. It's been awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. If you're wanting to see more content a little bit faster, especially the first season of Street Woman Fighter, I am actively recording that one still, but most of it is currently released on Patreon. So if you want early access to content as well as ad-free watching and recommendations, if you want to send some of those in, I do have tiers that do represent those and do help make it possible for me to react to a wide variety of content, not just specific things. And I always enjoy the support and the conversations that come alongside with it. But you're not really missing anything if you don't decide to do that. You'll just have to be a little patient when it comes to just what you see. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.